Everyone in the village loved Ngozi's Zobo. It was sweet, cold, and strangely addictive. Her customers kept coming back, and her money multiplied every day. But there was one terrible secret nobody knew. The red drink they were happily drinking was connected to something horrifying. For months, people drank Ngozi's Zobo, then became mysteriously sick, and some never survived. But just when Ngozi thought nobody would ever discover her secrets, the young girl working in her shop saw something she was never supposed to see. What she discovered would expose one of the darkest secrets the village had ever known.
Once upon a time, in the village of Umuoma, there lived a beautiful and hard-working woman named Ngozi. Ngozi sold chilled Zobo drink by the roadside. Her Zobo was always deep red, sweet, cold, and refreshing. Every morning, people gathered around her store. "Give me 2 bottles," a man would shout, "and one for my children," another customer would say. Ngozi would smile and say, "Thank you, my people. Come again tomorrow." Her business grew rapidly, but nobody knew the terrible secret behind her success. One evening, Ngozi met a man named Chidi, who walked around the village hospital mortuary. Instead of being scared, Ngozi saw an opportunity to make money. "Chidi," she whispered, "if you help me get it, nobody will ever know." Chidi hesitated. "This is dangerous, Ngozi," he said. But Ngozi laughed softly. "Who will suspect the Zobo seller?" she asked. Greed overcame Chidi's fear, and from that night onward, the two began meeting secretly. Weeks passed. People who regularly bought Ngozi's Zobo began complaining about their strange illness. At first, nobody connected the sickness to her drink. One man became seriously ill, then another. Then the woman who had bought Zobo from Ngozi days earlier became sick. Some victims eventually died after prolonged illness. The villagers became confused. "What is happening to our people?" the elders asked. But Ngozi's business became even bigger. People still bought from her because her Zobo tasted better than everyone else's. Ngozi counted her money every evening and smiled. "The more they drink, the more I make." So she said, but she had forgotten that evil may hide for a while, but it does not remain hidden forever. Ngozi employed a young girl named Ada to help sell the Zobo. Ada was hardworking but observant. One afternoon, she noticed that Ngozi became extremely secretive whenever Chidi visited, and one evening, Ada accidentally saw them carrying something into a hidden storage area. "What are you hiding there?" Ada asked. Ngozi quickly turned around. "Mind your business," she said to Ada. Ada became frightened. Later that night, she heard Ngozi speaking to Chidi. "If we continue like this, nobody will stop us. My sales have never been this good," Ngozi said. Ada's heart began beating rapidly. She knew she had heard something terrible. For several days, Ada watched carefully. She noticed something frightened. Whenever people died after becoming sick, Ngozi seemed strangely calm. Instead of mourning, she would say, "Life happens. Nobody knows tomorrow." Ada became convinced that something was terribly wrong. One morning, she confronted Ngozi. "Madam, what exactly are you putting inside this Zobo?" That moment, Ngozi's face changed. Who told you to ask me that? She asked. I'm only asking because people are getting sick. Ngozi grabbed her arms. Listen to me. If you value your life, forget what you have seen or heard. Ada pulled herself away and went home. That night, she made a decision to expose Ngozi. Ada secretly gathered the information she had witnessed. She spoke with some families who had lost loved ones and finally went to the village elders. My fathers, she said, her voice trembling. I know why our people have been dying. The elders stared at her. What are you saying? They asked. Ada told them everything. At first, nobody believed her. But when they investigated, disturbing evidence began to emerge. Chidi was confronted under pressure. He confessed that he had been helping Ngozi obtain contaminated water connected to the mortuary. The entire village was horrified. The elders summoned Ngozi before the entire village. Ngozi, the eldest elder, said, "Tell us the truth." Ngozi remained silent. "Did you knowingly sell contaminated Zobo to our people?" he asked. Ngozi looked around. Hundreds of hungry faces stared at her. And finally, she lowered her head. Ada began to cry. Ngozi tried to defend herself. The crowd became furious, but Ngozi had no answer. Her greed had finally destroyed everything she had built. The elders held a long meeting and they all decided that Ngozi would be banished from Umwoma village and she was forbidden from returning to the village. Her punishment was to leave the community and remain far away in the evil forest, a feared wilderness that villagers believed should never be entered without reason. As Ngozi walked away carrying her small belongings, nobody followed her. The same woman who once had hundreds of customers now had nobody. The elders also warned the villagers that never again should greed make them ignore suspicious things around them. Chidi was handed over to the authorities for his part in the crime. After Ngozi disappeared, the village changed. People became careful about what they ate and drank. Nobody bought food or drink simply because they were cheap or popular. The elders created a new rule for food sellers and the villagers became more watchful. But there was one thing they could never forget: the empty places at family gathering, the mothers who had lost children, the husbands who have lost wives, and the children who had lost parents. Whenever someone mentioned Zobo, the old people of Umwoma remembered the terrible years when greed turned an innocent drink into a symbol of tragedy. And they always told the younger generation, money gained through another person's suffering will never bring peace. Ngozi's business had grown quickly. Her money had multiplied, but in the end, she lost the one thing money could never buy again: the trust of her people. Moral lessons: never allow greed to blind you to the value of human life. Be careful about what you consume and never ignore warning signs when something seems wrong. Evil may hide for months, but eventually the truth will find its way into the light.